What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grind. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd, this channel where we got my nerd reviews on today's nerd shows. Well, today's nerd show I'm going to give a review on is going to be, yes, you called it, The Flash. And it's going to be on Season 4, Episode 10 of The Flash. And it's called The Trial of the Flash. And this picks up right where the mid-season finale left off, you know, the Christmas special where, the Thinker, the guy, his body is left inside Barry's apartment when all of a sudden the police show up and they arrest him, and he could have ran, but he decided not to, which I think probably would have been best if he just ran and wasn't there, so then maybe he had an alibi. But hey, who knows? Like Barry Allen's just, he's playing this whole we'll just let the justice system kind of ride out kind of vibe, and I'm like, bro, you could have saved yourself. You could have got out of there so that you weren't just standing there, even though supposedly they had the Thinker is a thinker. He planned out everything, basically, to frame him, because if you don't know, maybe you're catching up, whatever, but the Thinker swapped his mind and put his mind into the body of one of the metahumans that he kind of helped create with Barry coming back out of the Time Force, where there's now, like, you know, the black matter or whatever. And he took over the guy's body, and then I guess he stabbed or killed his regular body. Well, his regular body was already dead, but I guess he stabbed it, left the body inside Barry's apartment, and so now Barry's framed for the murder of the Thinker guy. And there was already some issues because Barry just wasn't being thinkus right. Like, even when he was doing the stuff right before this, in that finale, like him going to the house. Like, bro, like, why don't you go to the house and wear a mask? No, he went into the guy's house, just his hair or whatever, so everyone knew it was him. Like, they recorded it. The Thinker thought of everything. So then he got the restraining order, so then now it looks bad because you've already got the history of Barry harassing these people. So this episode was all about the court, them trying to prove Barry's innocent. Meanwhile, you've got this metahuman they call Fallout. What's his power is radiation. I guess he worked for a power plant, and that's how it kind of manifested. And he didn't realize, because he goes to the bank and he withdraws some money, and then when he leaves, everyone's just passing out. And this dude's like, yo, he is oblivious to his surroundings, because literally, if people was just dropping, I think I would have noticed before, I think it was like a day or something like that. He got his money, went to work, then he got on a bus, and I don't know how the bus driver didn't manage to pass out already beforehand, but hey, this is a TV world. But yeah, and he doesn't know how to control it because it's just coming out of him, and it's just crazy. Meanwhile, you've got Barry going through the court system, and they're trying to prove his innocence, but the Thinker just thought of everything. Even at some point, the Rubber Man and Carl, call him Carl, but Joe, they go and stake it out, and they take pictures of, the wife kissing the black guy, which is, her husband, in his body. Then, they bring it to court, and they think they got something. Then this chick, I gotta give her props, because not only does she seem so legit, like she's very distraught and crying, but knowing she's an actress, acting like she's crying, it's just, this lady is great. Like, she's making these waters, it looks legit like she's crying. She knows how to cry. I'm giving her props, full props. Plus, she's really pretty too. But I'm giving her props on this because, it's hard for me to even tell. And I know this is a show. So, let alone if this was in this TV world show, you best believe everyone's gonna believe this lady. And they pulled up the pictures and was like, yo, if you're so distraught over your husband, why we got pictures of you kissing this other dude? Like, why does that happen? What's your word? How you gonna explain it, huh? How you gonna explain that? And then she comes out like, well, we met a month ago. And they were like, oh, 4 months ago? And then the lady was like, that's why you had him killed. He's like, no, what it was we met him in a convention, and my husband, we used to hang out, and my husband saw the connection, and he wanted me to still be fulfilled because he couldn't fulfill my needs in the wheelchair or whatever, and he knew his time was coming, so he gave the blessing, and he wanted, and what's the name was there for me while all this was happening. So therefore, my husband wanted me to at least enjoy myself, have pleasure. So therefore, he allowed this to happen. So then, man, you got the whole jury just feeling sorry for her now again. That, like the husband was so loving that he allowed her to have her needs fulfilled because he knew he was going to die and he couldn't do anything. So now the guy is like a savior, and it makes Barry Allen look even worse that he killed some guy that was willing to let his wife basically F another guy because he couldn't do it. And I'm like, good Lord. Even the lawyer was like, I can't. There's nothing else for me to do. Nothing else for me to do. The only way we're gonna win is if we tell them you're the Flash. And he was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then even Iris West, she was gonna do it. She was gonna go until she busted in the door. Because after she talked, the lady was leaving after whole cry sob thing. And then Iris was like, yo, what's your plan? What are you doing? And she was like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to save, be there for my man. Can you say the same thing? But she was planting up my thing to like, yo, you need to tell. And then right when she was about to do it, all of a sudden Flash pulls out this whole new trick where he can wrap her in the Speed Force, and basically she can interact with him, which is not something that hasn't been seen before in the comics. Flash can do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like they just pulled it out of that. He could do a lot of things. So it's not it didn't go out of the realm of possibilities with all the stuff he's already done. So he's telling her like, yo, you can't. She's like, but I want you. He's like, I want to save you. He was like, if you tell her, that puts a mark on your head. And she was like, I don't care. I was like, yeah, but you don't. It's not just your head. It's everybody that we know, so our family, and anybody that's been attached to us, anybody that's interacted with us. All of them have marks on their head, bullseyes on their head now. If you do this, not even just your dad, not even just Barry, his friends, they'll go through everybody to get to Barry. Therefore, you can't do this. And then she understands. And then she's like, all right. And then she just says, Barry's innocent. And then leaves. Or sits down, actually. And then, meanwhile, that's happening. You got the radiation guy. He's showing up again. And he's about to, like, explode. And that's when, you've got, what's it called? Caitlin Snow. She goes there as, as Frost. And you've got Cisco go there, and they're trying to stop her. They're trying to freeze him to stop it, but he melts through it, then somehow shoots her or whatever, and no one can stop it. And Barry, he in the middle of court when they're about to give it the thing, he's like, I gotta go. And then that definitely looks bad. He tells them we gotta go. He kind of runs out. He does a vacuum to vacuum up the radiation up. Meanwhile, he's getting hurt. He's hoping his regeneration is kind of kicking in. And then Cisco puts a beam to shoot it to, I believe it was Earth 50, where it's already dead or whatever. And he shoots it all up straight through there. And then that's when the guy releases all his energy, passes out. Everybody's saved. Barry goes back to the lab, finds out that, yes, they found him guilty. Meanwhile, all this happens. Barry goes back to court, and they do this nice little transition thing where they go back and forth where Flash is getting an award for being, like, the most upstanding citizen. Meanwhile, the judge is going down off him, like, saying how so disregard for humanity and all that. And Barry's just sitting there like, oh, and he was like, which makes him look like he, like no remorse. But he does have remorse. There's not even no remorse. There is no remorse because he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And you feel bad, but you see the contrast, and I like the way they did that. That's one thing I really did like about that. The way with the speech was cutting in and out, would go back and forth. One positive, one negative, one positive, one negative. So it went all the way through, and then at the end, you go into court. And then that's when Barry sees the thinker in the black guy's body, which, I mean, if you're going to take another guy's body, this guy is a very good-looking black man with some nice-looking eyes, and I'm pretty sure his wife ain't going to be mad at what he's got down below. So, but she, actually, during the episode, she did feel a little awkward, but he was like, this is me, just trust me. But he talks to him, and then Barry says, no matter what, don't think you won. He was like, but have I? Have I not won? I believe so. And he walks off. And then Barry gets put in jail, and I already knew what was going to happen. When he was looking at the wall, I was like, I bet you it's the cell that his father was in. And yes, Henry Allen written on the wall. So I like the way the episode went. I don't know where the episode's going to go. A lot of times when it comes to Flash, they set up these plots that just don't last that long. When it deals with actual Barry being out of it. Like he's gone for like the season finale. He was stuck in a Speed Force. Then all of a sudden he comes back. Okay, I understand. He's the main character. You can't just have a show without him. Like, or whenever he's trapped, it's usually 1 or 2 days. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do with this whole him in jail, but I don't believe it's gonna last too long. Maybe 2-3 episodes tops. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not gonna have him all in jail the whole way through. Meanwhile, the rest of this stuff is going on in the city. So. And plus, in the preview, is going to be the Rubber Man. And the Rubber Man did have a shining moment where he was telling Joe West that because Joe West wanted to go inside the house, plant some evidence on her, but then being how this the Rubber Man, the guy was a detective, and the reason why he's just a detective is not a police force because he did something like what Joe's about to do. He did plant evidence because he knew the guy. He wanted to get vengeance, and he told him like, "Yo, you think it's a good idea? But then you're going to get away with it, then it's going to start eating at you, then they're going to find you out, then they're going to take your badge, then all your friends you thought was your friends, they're going to be gone, your family going to look at you the same, like it's not going to be what you think." So and then I did like that part, so he did have a shining moment. But overall, I give this episode a nice little B+, because it was a nice one, shining moments for everybody. It wasn't the most touching, but definitely understood, and I liked it. Barry... he was good in it. He's definitely good in it. It's just the fact that, doing stupid things. Like, I just wish, you don't know what you do in this situation. You really won't. So, it was a good episode. Check me out on the next one. Remember to like, share with all your friends. We can, comment down below so we can talk about this. I like to talk about these shows. Remember to subscribe. Check out my last TV show review, and then check out the playlist of all the show reviews I do on this channel. So remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Suburban Nerd. You've just been nerdified. Catch you guys on the next review.